guys, this is Hassan from HTFX, and let's talk about Tata Steel. Now, I did draw this triangle here, and the reason why this pattern really does look like a triangle, and even though we don't know what's going on here, maybe from this triangle we can understand where we are, okay? Now, to be able to do this, you need to know theory very good, okay? And it's a little bit hard, I know, and maybe for you guys not so interesting, but the more you try to, the more you will understand the theory, the more it will help you to understand where you are in the chart. And when you know when you're in the chart, it will help you tremendously in the long term to be successful, okay? Because how this Elliott theory works is actually simple. Elliott theory actually says to itself, okay, you cannot be wrong. So if you're wrong, your count is wrong, it means that you did the count wrong, okay? This is how the principle of Elliott works, actually. This is why it's a little bit hard. Now, let's say that this is a triangle, okay? This is the way it should be done. Now, how this triangle actually looks inside. So on one lower degree, this is how this actually triangle looking like. Now you have A, B, the C, and the D wave, and the E wave. Now, you may think why it's like this. Well, I did actually another video on triangles too, so I suggest you to watch it as well. You have to know one thing. This A and C trend line should never be clean. If it's A and C trend line, E wave has to pierce it. Okay? E wave has to pierce it. If this is a C and E baseline, it's another type of triangle. Or if it's A and E baseline triangle, which I did explain these triangles on the triangle video, then it's a little bit different story. Okay. Now, on this B to D trend line, this B to D trend line has to be clean. For example, C wave couldn't come here and do something like this and break it. No. Or E wave actually couldn't do that too. So if any part of E wave did this, then we had a trouble. Okay. Now, what we should try to understand what this triangle actually finished, okay, on the bigger degree, because if we can understand it, then we may have a better educated guess on what's going on the here, maybe here, or on the right side. Okay. Now, to be able to understand this, we should understand what kind of triangle it is. Okay. If this A, C, and E trend line was perfect, it was like this one, clean, so clean, without any this kind of stuff, then I would think that this may be a limiting triangle. Now, on the triangle video, I also did explain the difference between limiting and the non-limiting triangles. Limiting triangles can appear in three places. It can be in a fourth wave, it can be in a B wave of a zigzag, or it can be B wave of a flat. If you have a triangle that is happening in any of these three possibilities, then it means you're dealing with a limiting triangle. And limiting triangles are a little bit different. They have different rules to trade with. But look, if it's like one of these rules is this: A, C, and E trend line has to be clean, very clean. So it should have been something like this. Okay? But look, in our case, it doesn't look like this. It's a clean one. Okay? Because it was pierced by it. So this means that this, in my idea at least, for now, it means that this is not a limiting triangle. It's a non-limiting triangle. Well, if it's a non-limiting triangle, then it means this triangle can be two things. It can either be an X wave, okay, an X wave, or it can happen at the end of a complex correction. End of a complex correction. Now, if we are on the end of a complex correction, it means that something bigger ended here. Now, if this is end of complex correction, it means, for example, this can be, for example, a wave A of a flat, maybe finished, can be a second wave, can be a fourth wave, can be an X wave, like we said. Actually, we already wrote X wave, so I will not write it here. It can be, for example, wave B flat, or wave B of a flat. No, it cannot. Well, look, okay, don't confuse this what I'm writing here. Now, when I say wave B of a flat, but this in this arrangement, wave B of a flat, but on before this you have, for example, wave X here, okay, and something like this, and X, then it can be. It is not a. For example, okay, let me try to make it a little bit more better here. What I'm saying is this. For example, if this is a wave B of a flat, and this was wave A of a flat, as an example, this was the wave A of a flat, for example, and this is the wave B of a flat. In this arrangement, I'm saying it is this triangle is a limiting one. Now, why? Because look, this triangle is not on the end of a complex correction. It is the triangle is the correction itself. Okay, but when you put it not like this, but you have an X wave here, and before this something else is coming, and wave A of a flat, for example, ended somewhere here, and you have the first correction, and then the X wave, and then the triangle, then it can be a wave B of a flat without being the limiting triangle, okay? So I hope this makes sense to you. If you didn't understand, just rewind and listen to it again, what I'm saying. Now, so these are one of the possibilities, okay? It can be wave B of a flat, it can be wave B of a zigzag, but look, where is the zigzag, okay? It can be an X wave, that kind of stuff. So from what it starts here, let's try to understand what it is, okay? But still, I will put this question mark here. Maybe this is a wave A of a flat. So we don't know. One of the possibilities. Now, after this triangle, what did mark it to? Well, it looks like we had a wave A. Now, tell me this. And if you cannot answer this, please go back to the impulsive move video and say me this. Does this move look impulsive? Now look, it doesn't look like you have an extension in any of the waves. And also, even though you may think maybe this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have the fifth wave extension, look at the third wave. In third wave, it's like so much choppy. It doesn't look like this is impulsive move, okay? So what I would put my money on, and because of this retracement level as well, this does look like a corrective wave, and this is another corrective wave, maybe done or maybe it's in the making. So if I'm going from a corrective wave to another corrective wave, there are two things that can happen. First, maybe this was a wave X, and now we are on a triangle, another triangle. So wave X is a triangle, and another triangle that will finish the move, and then we will go high. That is one possibility. Also, if we are in a wave B, then, for example, if we ended wave A of a flat here, and we are going for wave B of a flat, then I would suggest that this is not a triangle. Okay? So this means if it's not a triangle, after the B wave is done, I am waiting for a C wave that is impulsive. Okay? So from what we can have, I am trying to understand or create a scenario that can go along with it. Now look at this move. Let's go actually to the daily chart to understand from this move from A to B. Now what does this move look like? Well, first of all, where this wave A is finished, let's try to understand it. I would say this may be the end of wave A. Something like this, or maybe this. I'm not so sure. But let's try to figure out what it is. Okay. From A, so we are going from wave A to wave B. It means now we are on one lower degree. So let's choose a different color with a different size and let's try to figure out what's going on. So can I put wave A here? Okay. So where did my wave A has ended? On the bigger degree. Here. And where is this wave A ended? Here. Okay. If this is a wave A, as you can see, this move doesn't look impulsive. It means that this price action has to go 618. Now look, does it go or no? Well, it does. So it means we can put the B wave here. If this is the B wave, now we need a C wave. Okay. Now where we can put the C wave? That's the important part. Okay, let's try to put the C wave something like this. It looks like this is the only place actually you can put it. So after the C wave, after this, I'm sorry, not X wave, but the C wave, we have to check something. What do we have to check? Well, is this the end of B wave or no? Because we have a correction. And is this the end of B wave? Well, let's check. 0 to B trend line. And you should take the time. We took the time. We put it on the right side. Did the price action break to 0 to B trend line? Well, yes, it did. Did it come back all the way to the B wave in due time? No, it didn't. It means that this correction, by which I mean from A to the B, is not done here. So I put it on the right side. Now, what does this move looks like? Well, I would think that this is an X wave. Okay, if this is an X wave, how does it look like? Well, maybe A, B, C, D, E on the lower time frame. So something like this. Even I can even go lower if I want. It depends on how many degrees that you want to count. So let's count like this. We have wave A here, a wave B here, maybe a C wave here, and a D wave here, and small E wave here that will end the X wave. Now what should I do? Now I should draw this in a different color so that it doesn't change. Look, A and E baseline triangle, and this would be to the here. This is the D wave. Okay. And this does end this X wave. Okay. Now, after this X wave, what do you need? Well, we need a wave A and a B and a C wave. Okay. Now this is what it gets tricky. Now, after this ABC, the first flat, because of this retracement level, you cannot have a zigzag. But now you either have a double flat here, if you think that this, if you think that this is like something like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, if you think that this is impulsive move, then it's like this. But what I would think here, actually, this is the end of the C wave with a triangle, and now we are going for a D wave, and then we will make another E wave, and that will be the end of B wave. Makes more sense to me because of this triangle has happened here. Because if it was a simple impulsive move, you wouldn't have a triangle formation here. Okay. Now, could it be a terminal move? Well, it could be, but I don't think it's very likely. It doesn't look to me terminal so much because 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Well, it could be terminal too actually. So let's try to go even deeper to see if it can really be a terminal move or no. Okay. Now that we are here, let's try to count here a little bit better. Okay. So this was okay. You understand the triangle setup, I'm sure. So let's think maybe this is not a triangle. So this we took on the right side this, but now we think that this is really a B wave. So an ABC now. Okay, so this is if this is an ABC. Now on the lower degree, what was our lower degree? It was this blue, small blue. Okay, so now should be something like 1, a 2, second wave. Now there's a problem. I will tell you why it will not be happening like this. Maybe third wave and a fourth wave and a fifth wave. Yes, maybe you may think like this, a terminal move. Now look, in an impulsive move, you should be able to draw 2 to 4 trend line. Now look, you cannot draw because it's pierced by the third wave. Okay, let's say it's not here, but it's here. Can you draw it now? Still, you cannot. So it means that this terminal scenario is not very likely. Okay, so what I would do is go back, go back, go back, go back, and take this as a ABCX, ABCDE as a complex correction. And I would put my C wave somewhere around here. And I would think that now I am on a D wave. And when this D wave is done, I would think I would put the B to D trend line. And I would first do A and C trend line and see what's going on here. Okay, this is what I would do. But at the end, it should go higher. At the end, it should go higher. But we still need time for it. Okay, guys, so I hope this makes sense for you. See you in the next one.